Yeah. And by the way, I didn't know, Pradeep. Only Ankur told me in the one in the Singapore that you were the guy who coined that word Startup Saturday.
Yes.
Buddy, you should be telling me.
Nice, man. We have been doing Startup Saturdays for the last so many years, right?
Yeah. So Ankur told me when starting. He said, "Yeah, Pradeep is the guy." So I said, "Was Pradeep have never told me that."
It started with some bar camp kind of stuff, and then one thing led to another, and then Startup Saturday happened. Again, by the way, I shamelessly copied the idea from Mobile Monday. Mobile Monday used to be an amazing event.
Yeah.
Yes. Long ago, Mobile Mondays and the bar camps of the world.
Yep.
So I remember we started the bar camps in Pune.
Yeah.
Achha.
We started the bar camps in Pune. I think I got involved from 1 till 7, I think.
Nice.
And after that, slowly the camp culture started dying and individual topic-specific communities started coming up.
Mm-hmm. So I used to be there in the early bar camps. I went and joined bar camp 2 onwards. And then bar camp 3 is when we started running a startup collective. And then that was the most famous collective, right? So Jace was the guy who gave the idea of running collectives. And then we ran that and nothing like it. It was like fantastic. A lot of people came by. Things happened. Then we said, man, it deserves a movement of its own. And then the Startup Saturday got started from there.
Okay, so I think people might be just chipping in as they come in. Let's get it.
Yep. Maybe we can do that. Just give me a second. Okay, folks. Good evening. Thanks for all the folks who have joined in. Thank you so much for giving us a Thursday evening. I think this is one thing I look forward to on my calendar every Thursday evening. I usually get to see Sanket and then I say, hey, Sanket, what's happening and all that. And today I see Santosh himself here, and Sanket says he's busy in another event he told Prakash will be handling. But anyway, so good to be here with all of you, right? So even before I get down into obvious and what we are doing, if you could just indicate on chat, I will ask a bunch of questions. If you could just answer them on chat with a yes or no, I think that will be really helpful, right? So how many of you here have one or more wallets, like Web3 wallets? Just say yes or no in the chat. That should be good. Yep. Okay, I like Santosh. He makes it look like good number. Yep, 2. Yes. Awesome. Okay, Ajay. Okay, fantastic. Prakash, thank you so much. I think that definitely helps. Right. And how many of you here have one or more exchange accounts? Exchange could be your CoinDCX, your BitBNS, ZPay, Binance, FTX, any of these. Oh, lovely. Okay, awesome. I think that's really good and fantastic. How many of you here use these both exchanges and wallets as apps on your phone, on your smartphone? I want to see somebody saying no. Okay, I want to talk to Nagesh after the call. Okay, Ajay as well. Awesome. Okay, Ayush, naturally all wallets. Okay, fantastic. Okay, sounds good. So I think I have a good mix of people who are on both sides of the spectrum. Fantastic. Thank you all for being a good sport. So let me just walk through a few things and then maybe we can go in deeper and get started. Okay, folks, good evening. This is Pradeep. I am one of the co-founders of Obvious. Along with me, I have Himanshu and a bunch of our team members also on the call. We are all excited to talk to you about what we are doing at Obvious. Right. And by the way, it's Obvious Tech is our Twitter handle. If you're not following and you would like to be up to date on what you're doing, that will be a good place to follow us on. Okay, let's get going with this. So again, thank you Foundership for this opportunity. I know Foundership has been an amazing source of strength for most of the people in the community. All of us are struggling with, hey, what's happening in the bear market? Things may or may not work, but Foundership says just keep building. Don't worry, things will eventually turn around. Right. So I think we take a lot of inspiration from Foundership in the amazing work that they do for the community. And we are also saying, hey, you know what, we also build the dip, and that's what we are calling ourselves. And of course, some of us are hodlers as well, because we believe in the long-term value of Web3 and crypto. And we think that it is here to stay, right? Here to stay. And hence our deep belief in both of this. So with this, again, thanks to each one of you who has joined the call to express solidarity with all of us and getting to know what we're up to doing. Okay, so what is Obvious trying to do, right? Obvious is trying to bring Web3 at your fingertips. And that's the reason why I was asking how many of you use some of these apps on your mobile phone. And the idea is, I think it's time for us to build a mobile first Web3, right? Yes, the technology is good, it works, but then again, hey, not much works on mobile, and we are here to change that, right? So let me see what we want to do today, right? So the question is, of course, we'll talk about Obvious. I'll do an app demo. And of course, I do have a request for help. Kindly help us out on a bunch of things. And then we can open up for Q&A as well. Okay, let us look at this, right? So if in case you see, as we discussed earlier at the start of the call, we said that, hey, you know what, most of us do use multiple exchanges. We also figured out that most of us also use multiple wallets, right? And naturally, the idea is once you have multiple wallets, you also interact with multiple dApps, and probably you also own multiple tokens, all right? And why do we need different exchanges? Because different exchanges provide different sets of services, and naturally we like a few of them in one, we like few of them in something else, and hence we go to different exchanges. Similarly, there are a bunch of chains, like we all love the Ethereum mainnet, we love the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, and Cosmos, and so on and so forth, Solana. There are many chains, right, who are doing amazing jobs. There are communities who are building interesting things there. And of course, we also have wallets that is required for us to interact with dApps on all of these chains, hold the NFTs or hold the tokens that we get from all of these chains. All of this is fantastic, but still, I think there is this major gap, right? What is the gap? Usually people start with, hey, let me create an exchange account, put in some rupees and buy some tokens and hold on to that, right? And then they say, oh, you know what, my friend seems to be degening and she is getting deeper into NFT, she is getting deeper into DeFi, let me follow her along the way, and let me also do what I have to do. So what I will do, I'll take some tokens off from an exchange, load it onto my own wallet, right? Most of you talked about MetaMask wallet, most of you talked about Phantom wallet and stuff like that. So the idea is you essentially take the money into a wallet. And also there is this feel of, you know what, keeping things in the wallet is better. It's a self-custody thing. You own your own destiny kind of stuff. You take that into a wallet. And then you say, hey, you know what, now I want to deploy these assets into DeFi, into NFT, into GameFi, into Metaverse. Let me go through that. Two interesting problems come by. So one is that, as you can see on the left side, if you allow me to paraphrase, there is an ocean or a sea of opportunities out there. Opportunities could be DeFi, GameFi, NFT, Metaverse. All of these are interesting opportunities in the Web3 space. And for us to access that opportunity, we need some liquidity. And where is the liquidity right now? It is in multiple islands. The red one that you can see in the center is probably the centralized exchange island where a bunch of money sits. And then there, of course, there are other islands as well. The islands are probably, one could be an Ethereum mainnet, right? So the one could be your Bitcoin blockchain, one could be your Solana blockchain and Cosmos and so on and so forth, right? So each of these are islands of liquidity. They do provide you access to some opportunities, as you can see, but then again, you don't get opportunities, all the opportunities, because the opportunities are very much spread out, right? So two things we establish here. One is that, hey, liquidity in Web3 is fragmented, and so is the opportunity. I'll just take a pause here and see if anybody has any questions. Do you agree, disagree? If you say agree, just say agree in chat, and then we can go ahead. If you disagree, I'm happy to have a chat and see how can I help. Okay, I see a few people saying agree. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for the people who said agree. Other people, I'm assuming that you are silently nodding your head and maybe your hands are away from the keyboard. Fantastic. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, folks. That helps. Okay, the next one is this, right? So yes, we did discuss a bunch of problems with liquidity, opportunity, chain, exchange, token, wallet, and all that. But what about user experience, right? So what has happened in the world is there is this people who call themselves as Ethereum maxis, there is Bitcoin maxi, there is a blockchain maxi, there is a decentralization maxi, there is a centralization maxi, and all of that. And in all of these, in the middle of all of that, the user has been left out, right? So what does a typical user do, right? All of you said you use multiple wallets, multiple exchange, right? So how do you work with all of that, right? Very few people will answer, I use an Excel, but or very people say, no, I just leave it as they are and I'll come back to it when it comes. Or some people say, yaar, bear market, kya baat kar rahe ho? I don't even want to track anything. I'll get complex if in case I go look at that, right? So the idea is, hey, you need to be able to track your portfolio across exchanges and dApps. So that is one use case. Second thing is, for you to be able to interact with these dApps, you need multiple wallets, right? And for you to move your tokens from one wallet to another, or convert from one form to another, or move from one chain to another, you're using the swapping, bridging, and all of that kind of stuff. And the funniest of all things, like many of you also confirmed that, hey, you do not use anything on your mobile, which means you have to do everything on your laptop, which means you use a browser, right? And with the browser comes a browser extension, which is your wallet, and that's how you interact with various dApps on that. So I've seen people who essentially have multiple tabs, right? So what are the multiple tabs? They have a tab for DeFi, they have a tab for their NFT, and so on and so forth. So hence what is happening is, and then you have a wallet and you do not know where it is connected to, because the most typically used wallet is your MetaMask. And imagine you have connected it on one side, and you want to do something else on the other side. It says, okay, change chain. And the minute you change chain, the other app says, oh, no, change it back to this chain because this is where I am, right? So there's this natural fight that happens, and you try to figure out which tab, what is happening, what chain are you on, what are you doing, and all of that stuff. It becomes very, very tough, right? So just by being a Ethereum maxi or a Bitcoin maxi, people have left the users in a very, very bad state of affairs. So at obvious, like Himanshu, our CEO, likes to call it as we are user maxis, right? We want to be maxi for the user, because user are the people like you and me who are the ones who are trying to do something on the Web3 space, and you want to make things work for us, right? So that is the whole premise, right? So do people agree that user maxis are the ones who are required? Okay, give me 5 agrees, and then I'll go to the next slide. I'm waiting. Fantastic. Manish, thank you so much, man. It gives me that, right? Fantastic. Thank you so much, team. Okay. So we did discover that. Then what is the need of the hour, right? How do we solve for all of this, right? We said, hey, there's a liquidity problem. There is an opportunity, doesn't make liquidity kind of a problem. Then we said there's too much fragmentation problem. Then we said there is a user experience problem. So how are we going to solve for all of this, right? So if in case you look at this, on the left side, there's an octopus that essentially says that you need to have multiple hands in multiple places to be able to get things done. On one side, you have your exchanges, right, where you do all the centralized exchange part, load up your fiat, get your crypto and all of that stuff. And if in case you're a trader, you'll do the trading. On the other side, you have a bunch of tokens. You'll buy an Ethereum, you'll stake that Ethereum, right? Probably if you are into Aave, you'll stake Ethereum, or if in case you are into the proof of stake stuff, you'll stake and then make some rewards or earn some more Ethereum on top of that. And then if in case you're moving Ethereum from one chain to another, which most of us do, like I typically do this, right? I take money from the Ethereum mainnet and move it into the Polygon, because Polygon is way, way, way cheaper. And in Polygon, I get only wrapped Ethereum. I can't get with Ethereum because Polygon doesn't support that, right? So you have a wrapped version of Ethereum on the Polygon chain. And that is required because I go into OpenSea and buy stuff. Most of the NFTs that I want to buy use the WETH. And then, of course, you have a bunch of dApps as well. Your Aave is a dApp, your Balancer, or your OpenSea, or a SudoSwap. All of these are dApps, right, which are distributed apps on Web3 that you want to go connect. And then, of course, a bunch of wallets that we discussed. There are bridges as well that allow you to move money from one chain to another. From a user maxi perspective, what is the thing that we want is basically we want something that is very convenient, right? So as a user, don't make me think. Can you just provide me some intelligent default that I'll just be able to use? Second, I am like pressed for time. I have 200 different things to do, right? I have a lot of work at my hand. And on top of that, I'm getting a notification from WhatsApp. Somebody's pinging me on Slack, right? Some Telegram stuff is also happening. I need to be able to handle all of that because I want to be part of these communities and understand. But at the same time, I want to get things done. So is there something that is very, very fast, right? For people who already have a lot of things going on. And of course, the last thing is I want things to be very, very reliable. Something that just works, I can believe that, and then things should go ahead, right? You know what you guys have to do now for me to go to the next slide. You can say disagree as well, by the way, that's fine. And we can have a brainstorming discussion about that. But if in case you say agree, then let's say 5 agrees and then we go ahead. Okay, I count 3. I need 2 more. Come on, folks. Oh, 5 agree. So Nagesh, you are just, man, this is the ultimate Wagmi, right? Fantastic. Okay, awesome. All right. So, okay, thank you so much, folks. Okay. So then after seeing all this, I don't know if you have watched Three Idiots, you may be having this question in your mind. अरे यार क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, क्या कहना चाहते हो types? Did anybody get this thing? I hope not, but if it is, it's okay, right? So it does happen because not everybody is too very deep into all Web3 and all of that stuff. So to make this convenient, I have brought in something to help me out, right? I am on Swiggy. I want to pay for some money that I'm buying on Instamart, and then I have multiple options, right? I can pay using Swiggy money. I can pay using PhonePe. I can pay using Paytm. And then a whole lot of other options, right? I can pay using credit cards, debit cards, UPI, and all of that kind of stuff. So what does the restaurant care about? They don't care about where is the money coming from. They just care about, am I being paid money to be able to deliver the masala dosa that you ordered from me, right? As a customer, you say, man, I definitely want this masala dosa, but by the way, I happen to have multiple bank accounts, and let me choose one of them, right? So in my case, you can see my bank accounts there. I have 2 HDFC accounts and 1 State Bank of India account. Right, and at runtime I choose ki bhai, probably for this I will use this, maybe for some other use case I'll use a different bank account and all of that kind of stuff. So what is happening on the left side, you're seeing an opportunities where I want to participate in food delivery because I'm hungry, I need my masala dosa. On the right side, you're looking at my liquidity is in my multiple bank accounts, right? And I choose to take liquidity from my choice of bank account and give it to the masala dosa vendor on the other side, and they get to make things happen for me. So the masala dosa vendor doesn't care about which bank account it is coming in from, and I don't care about, hey, how is the masala dosa traveling to my home, because Swiggy is going to take care of that, right? But I will just pay my 87 rupees and hope that I get the masala dosa, right? This is exactly what we are looking at building at Obvious. So essentially, we are PhonePe for crypto payments. You can pay to any crypto account on any chain using any wallet and any token of your choice. And then, of course, you can also interact with dApps on chain. I'll just take a pause here and see if in case you guys have any questions. I'm not asking for agrees, but I'm just taking a pause to see if there are any questions, and then we can go ahead.
Let's go ahead if any questions on the chat message, or you can even come to the speaker and ask if any questions around it.
I was hoping that at least one of you will ask, okay, fine, where is the masala dosa? You see, I've ordered it already.
Got to deliver by the Swiggy.
It's on the way, it will come there. Anyway, so I have some inclination for Swiggy because I used to work there earlier, right? So anyway, so now that we are all on the same page, let's go ahead. Right, so how does Obvious solve for this? Right, so that's where we are going to come in here. But before I go in there, do you think that this is an obvious problem for us to solve? Don't say agree. If you agree, just type obvious. Yeah, Jay, don't worry, man. I'll get you the masala dosa after this. Okay, so anyway, fine. It seems to be obvious. Thank you so much. Right, so essentially, hey, we are trying to build the most obvious solution. And what does it involve? As we discussed earlier, four simple steps. First, you connect all of your liquidity source, right? So when you connect, what is the liquidity source? We talked about wallets. All of you talked about MetaMask, Phantom, Trust Wallet, Rainbow Wallet, many other of your favorite wallets. Those are on the left side of the screen. And then many of you also talked about exchanges, right? So Binance, FTX, CoinDCX, WazirX, Zepay, all of these things. So you just connect your exchanges and accounts. Second, once you connect, you will be able to track your portfolio across exchanges, chains, wallets, and dApps from single place instead of looking at multiple accounts. Third, you are able to seamlessly move money from one wallet to another wallet, one chain to another chain, without having to worry about how it is done. It is like saying, I just pay money and Swiggy figures out how does it get the masala dosa from MTR to my place, right? My job is to just pay money, and MTR's job is to just make the masala dosa, and Swiggy will figure out how does it reach me, right? So that's the way we're looking at it, right? And naturally, you want a mechanism to understand that, hey, where is my masala dosa, or where is my money? What is happening with that? Am I really sure? Can you notify me when things come through, or if in case a transaction is in progress? Because if in case you're doing a bridging, it usually takes about 20-30 minutes when in a good day. On a bad day, a few hours as well. So you want to keep an eye on what's happening with your transactions, right? So this is what Obvious does. 4 steps. 1, connect exchanges, wallets, basically all of your liquidity sources together. 2nd, from one place track your portfolio, right? And 3rd, you can do transactions, right? And 4th, you can stay on top of those transactions. Right. So any questions on this? Anyway, I think we'll walk through the demo and then we'll do that. Before we go to the demo, I just want to give a 2-minute overview of the team, who we are and all of that. Right. So the idea is, please meet my co-founders, Jebu and Himanshu. Himanshu is also there on the call today. Right. And we have been building mobile apps like for the very good part of our life. Right. I think if in case you can say, hey, we live and breathe mobile apps, that is somebody whom you will get. And between us, we have been very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time that allows us to ship about 1 billion app downloads. And these apps are used by about 200 million daily active users to the day across various regions in the world, right? And having been built everything on mobile, we feel that, hey, you know what, Web3 is fantastic, but unfortunately, it is locked onto desktop. So we are here to liberate and allow you to do all of this. Our goal, if everything goes well, is when you're sitting on your metro ride in Bangalore, right, or you're standing in the queue at Rameshwaram Cafe waiting for your Dipodi idli to arrive, you should be able to buy an NFT with some Matic on your MetaMask, but on Magic Eden Marketplace on Solana, right? So we'll talk about how all of those things happen. So that's what drives us to build what we're building. Okay, so enough talk. Let's directly get into the demo. I'll skip all of these kinds of things, right? Okay, in the meantime, I do have a request for help for all the folks who are on the call, right? So we want you to try out the Alpha app, right? Santosh has been very, very kind. He has already tried out the app. A few others have also have been kind and tried out the app. And once you try the app, you'll figure out it is broken, it has a lot of issues and all that, but you'll give us that feedback. We take the feedback, improve the app and all that. I think it's an opportunity for us as people in India to build something for the globe, right? And something in the Web3 which everybody can carry in their pocket and make this happen. We're looking at this as an opportunity where a very, very strong team from India is able to build it for the globe, right? So we need help. And we are looking to say, how do we get the next billion users to come online? It all starts with people like you. Please scan this QR code. You'll be taken to Obvious Technology. Do join, do ask for the access, and then we'll give you the app. Kindly try, and then you should be able to get things going. And of course, please do refer your friends. We need help as much as possible. And of course, we're looking for partnerships on who can help us improve things on the journey. And kindly wish us luck. We are a small team. We need help to get going. Harvey, please go ahead.
Okay, so number 4 done. Now number 3. On number 3, when you said partnership, that means partnership with these kind of apps who have a payment option on their service, right? Maybe Swiggy itself. So partnership with Swiggy, where along with the different payment option like UPI, credit card, net banking, they give also a crypto, and when you click on crypto, it takes you via the Obvious Tech app.
Fantastic, you have it there.
That's
so
that's the kind of partnership we're looking at, right?
Yeah, that's one kind of partnership. We're also looking at partnerships with dApps or protocols who need liquidity to flow into them, and then we'll work with them to get the liquidity. Yeah.
Okay, so in that particular case, with so many uncertainty pushed in from the, or rather shoved in from the government side, how do these guys are reacting right now? Your partnership are reacting right now?
So the people who are Web3 natives are reacting very happily. They're saying, please, Ajo, we need the liquidity. For other people, they're saying, we are waiting and watching. Let there be clarity, and then we'll come to you. We want to be your friends, but abhi ke liye thoda time de do.
Okay. So just an insider news which may help you in long run. Mastercard is going to enable crypto on their cards soon. So depending on the POS or depending on the end merchant, it would be available as a feature, and you can always start using that.
Very lovely. Rohit, please send your address. We'll send a masala dosa. In return, all that we're asking is connected Mastercard, who can help get us this thing going.
No worries. I'll get you connected with the team who's sitting out of Dubai and who's doing this work right now. So next 2-3 days, they're actively involved in what is required on Mastercard front to make it go live across the globe. So I can help you on that particular part.
Lovely. I think that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
Great.
Fine. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Roy. That will be very helpful. I will definitely seek your help. Now, with that said, let me stop the presentation and then let me get into the demo mode. Right. So let me share my screen. Please let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, it's coming up.
Okay. So this is the Obvious app, and as we said, what I've done is I have connected a bunch of accounts here, right? So once you install the Obvious app, it opens a screen like this to say, hey, why don't you connect or import your accounts, right? I'll just explain a bunch of this. So there is this connect to a wallet kind of stuff. Let me just do that afresh, right? So I'm just opening the app again, right? And then I go into my accounts. Right, you see, hey, there are a bunch of these accounts which are there here. Then I can say, hey, I have connected my FTX account, which is my exchange account. I've added a seed phrase for a wallet that I own, which is obvious demo.eth. I've also started following vitalik.eth just to see whatever man has in his wallets. By the way, this is the other thing, right? So anything and everything on the blockchain is public. All they need is somebody's address, and then we can pull up their wallet. If one of you is comfortable sharing your ENS or the address, please put it on the chat. I'll pull up your wallet, and then we can showcase that and then talk about how things work there as well. Again, I leave it to you. If
प्रदीप, अगर हमारी गरीबी का मजाक नहीं उड़ाओगे तो हम बता देंगे.
अरे सर प्लीज बताइए, हम सभी गरीबी है. That's why I take pleasure under Vitalik to say भाई बड़े भाई के पास इतना है तो हमारे पास छोटा होगा टाइप्स.
So mine is rohit11.8.
Okay, fine. Let me add. I think I got both of you. Okay. By the way, the keys that you are provided are always stored and encrypted and stored on the phone itself. They don't leave the phone. So I'm just pasting it in from my. Got it. So I'll add Rohit immediately after this.
Yep.
Okay. So I think this is done. Okay. I got Manish Dureja. Then let me add Rohit as well. Got it. So here basically the three options, right? So you can add using a public address or an ENS. You can add using a private key. If you have a MetaMask, I strongly suggest you export the private key, put it here, and then use that. Or if in case you have a wallet to which you have a seed phrase, you can also do that. So let us get Rohit now. ROHIT 11.ETH. Rohit, is this right?
Correct.
Fantastic. So I'm just adding it as a read-only wallet. So what is happening is, okay, fantastic. I think we were able to query and then we were able to get that wallet as well. So if you can see here, the way the wallets are tagged, there are the tag is imported where I've added the seed phrase. The read-only is a wallet that I've just added for both Manish as well as Rohit. It just adds it as read-only. And then of course, if it's an exchange like an FTX or Binance, it shows an exchange. And then there's an interesting thing called as connected account, right? So what is happening here is that I have connected my MetaMask. So let me say a switch network. It is connected to Binance. Let me say a switch network. Okay, hold on. Let me just remove this and then bring this back in. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'll come in here. I say, hey, connect via wallet connect. And it opens up the wallet connect screen where it shows the various types of wallets which are out there, right? And I do use Rainbow, I do use Trust, I do use a bunch of these wallets. By the way, you can also use hardware wallets like a Ledger or a Trezor. And any and every wallet that you can use that supports wallet connect will work. So for example, let us say I'll connect to MetaMask. So Obvious talks to MetaMask and say, hey, can you please let me know the public address that you use? And then MetaMask says, hey, Pradeep, do you want to share your public address with Obvious? Of course, I'll say obviously. Right, it got connected. Now I come back into Obvious. So what did it do? It went to MetaMask, got the address from there. Only the address came in here. And then the wallet got added, right? So if you see the last one, it came as pradeep.eth, and it shows that it has been connected on the Ethereum mainnet. You see that small Ethereum icon, which is out there, right? So all that we get in a connected account is just the address, because the key and the private key and the seed phrase are all in MetaMask, in the MetaMask app. So whenever I need to do a transaction, I need to go to MetaMask to be able to do the transaction. So all clear on the screen. How do we add an account? How do we add an exchange and all of that stuff? right? So I'll just show you an exchange addition as well. So if in case you have Binance, you can go here, and if you can go to Binance, create an API key. There's a scan code. It gives you a QR code. You can just copy that, and then you will do the connect. There's a small guide that explains how to do that as well. It shows there are these keys. You can use that and then copy it and get in. So I've already connected both my Binance and FTX, and it shows up. Any questions? Shall we go ahead? Okay, I want 5 people to say obvious, and then I'll go ahead.
Obvious.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, usually people say it on chat. Okay, Manish is saying sorry, not obvious. Manish, anyway, I think once we go into your wallet, we'll see how things look like. Thank you for volunteering.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, Pradeep?
Please, please.
I think you started off saying you're trying to solve for the UX, but I haven't seen that the way the adding of wallets is there yet. So unless it is still, my comment may be premature, but for a non-techie to understand all this, how do you solve for that?
Oh, that's a fantastic question, Manish. I think that's something that I and the team think about day in, day out. So right now what we see is the first or the early version. There are a bunch of design iterations that the team is working on. And like people like you can give us this feedback to say, hey, this sucks, and then we'll try to improvise and then go with that. I would love to spend some time with you separately on this to say which parts of this makes it really bad. I know it's bad. I personally feel it is yucky. It doesn't work at all. I have my own ideas on how to make it better. I would love to hear yours and improve them as well. So maybe after this call, I'll spend some time and then definitely go. I completely agree with you. There's still leaps and bounds to be taken care of, but we're just taking baby steps now.
Understood.
That's the overall goal where we want to be. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead then. So now we have connected all of these accounts. So let me just come in and look at the portfolio, right? So here we look at the portfolio. We have about $3 million in there, and it shows where is this money coming in from. It shows a bunch of things on tokens. It shows that we have about 27,000 NFTs. Then it shows the exchange account that I've connected. Those are my exchange account, the FTX as well as Binance. And then it shows all the account that we added. So as you can see, bulk of the thing comes from Vitalik, right? And then Pradeep.eth, obvious demo, then Rohit and Manish, right? So let us open Manish. He gives the address first. And then this is the view, what it looks like for a wallet that has been added, which is a read-only wallet. I'm going to click on tokens, and it opens up the token view, right? And as you can see, it just provides you a simple view of what is the token that you hold, on what chain do you hold, right? And then it also shows the wallet name on which it is on. So here it says 2 variants under Matic. Let us see what they are. So here it looks like Manish has Matic both on the mainnet, which is the Ethereum mainnet, as well as Matic on Polygon. So hence it essentially gives a consolidated view, calls it as 2 variants. You see totally about $198 worth of Matic, but spread across 2 different chains on the mainnet as well as the Polygon chain, right? And similarly, there are a bunch of NFTs as well, right? And then let's just give it a time. Yep. And then NFTs do load up, and then we can go see the details of what it was. In case the NFT has any details on OpenSea, that does come up, right? Okay, fantastic. So that's about Manish. Now, let us say I want to go into Rohit. We can see something similar. Okay, Rohit also has some tokens on Ethereum and Polygon on this particular wallet. When we go into tokens, again, 2 types of Matic variant which are there, and then few other tokens as well, and looks like slightly more number of NFTs. Right. Again, what is happening here is it's directly querying the blockchain into OpenSea APIs to be able to see what those things are, and hence it doesn't load up immediately. Manish totally understood. We need to figure out some caching and make things much better. But yes, we'll get there. We'll get there down the line. Okay, so this is how things look like. And naturally, of course, the next part is we can also see how is the money spread across various chains, right? So there is some money on the Ethereum, Binance, Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, and so on and so forth. Right. So this is what we call as a bird's eye view of the portfolio. It gives you a view of how is the token spread across in terms of tokens and NFTs, and even in tokens, how are they looking like? Now, when I look at the consolidated view, it shows that there are like 20 variants of Ethereum in our entire thing. So when we open this up, it shows that different wallets on different chains have different types of Ethereum, right? So there is Ethereum, there is a wrapped Ethereum, there is liquid staked Ethereum, and so on and so forth. And if in case you look at the last two entries, there is Ethereum on an exchange, which is FTX, the Ethereum on the other exchange, Binance as well. So no matter where Ethereum is in, what form it is in, on any chain, on any exchange, wrapped, staked, or regular, you'll be able to get a consolidated view of all of them together. We call this feature as a smart asset rollup, which is like basically you get to see a rollup of your asset, but spread across multiple places. All right. I'll just take a pause here. Any questions on the smart asset rollup? Okay. Is it obvious? Not obvious?
I think somebody has a question on the chat message, RJ.
So, RJ, we are essentially pulling the NFTs directly from the blockchain. The pricing information gets pulled from OpenSea. Yep. So naturally, this is not my collection, right? So Rohan, good question. It does, you can see it is already helping you track portfolio. It does few other things also. Let us come to that next. So what I'll do is I'll just click on, I clicked on the top thing, this circle, this green and yellow circle, the default collection, and it opens up this screen where I'm going to go into Pradeep's collection, and I'll say, hey, you know what? I happen to have, this is my Binance account, this is my account, and then I'll say save. And then from default collection, I'll switch to Pradeep's collection. So what did I do now? Essentially, there are many payments is there. Just stay back for a few minutes. I'll come to the payments part next, right? So essentially, we had multiple wallets. If you saw on the default collection, there were many other wallets. I had Vitalik, I had Rohit, I had Manish's wallet as well. I just want to track mine. I created a collection called a Pradeep's collection, and then I come in here and I get to see only my wallets, right? And now things look slightly more saner for me at least, and I can see my NFTs and my tokens and stuff like that. So this is how I'm able to track my tokens and NFTs across chains, exchanges, and wallets, right? So this is the portfolio tracking part. And of course, I can create as many collections as I want. I've created a watchlist collection where I just have Vitalik.eth, right? So we can create as many collections as we want. You can treat collection like a Google Chrome profile thing, profile for office, profile for home use, profile for personal use kind of stuff. Okay, all clear so far? Okay, folks, either say obvious or not obvious. Okay, thanks, Ajay. Okay, fantastic, right? So now let's come to the transactions element, right? So I want to send some money, right?
Yeah,
so
I think that is where Rohan had a question, but you are going to that, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So fantastic. So let us do that. So let us see how much money do I have where. So I'm going to my obvious demo.eth wallet, and it shows me that I have a bunch of dollars on various chains. So right now I'm on the Optimism chain, and it shows my holdings on Optimism chain, right? So now this is Optimism chain. From Optimism chain, I'm moving to the Polygon chain. Let us see what do I hold on Polygon chain, right? So here are a bunch of things that I hold on the Polygon chain. You see I have some USDC, some Matic, and so on and so forth. So let us say I want to send one Matic from here to, let us say, now let me send USDC one, and since Rohit volunteered, sorry, Manish volunteered first, I'll send it to Manish. Manish, I hope you're okay with this. I'm going to send you one USDC, right? So what is happening? I'm sending one USDC from my obvious demo wallet into Manish's ENS name that Manish had shared, right? Nagesh, I had asked for that. Any person who gave me the ENS would be considered as volunteer. Next transaction, I will do it to Rohit, and if you feel like it, add in your Saurabh already gave you your ENS, I'll send it to you next. Okay, so I'll say swipe to initiate. So what is happening? It says, hey, you need to sign the transaction to proceed. So what is the transaction? We are sending one USDC from my obvious demo.eth wallet to manish.eth on the Polygon chain, right? So I will say sign transaction. It is asking for my Face ID. Why? Because as we saw earlier, the keys are encrypted and stored in the secure enclave of the iPhone. In case of Android, they're stored in the secure enclave in the Android, which means you can access it only through biometrics. Right, you see the transaction is complete, and then hey, Manish, you would have received one USDC. Do let me know if you have received it, and yep, you get to see the transaction detail. How do you see the transaction detail? I just click on this card, and it takes me to Polygon scan, And on Polygon scan, I'll just copy this link, and then you see it's a success. I'm also just putting this on the chat. So Manish, feel free to look this up, and you would have got your coding at all, right? Yep. So good question, Saurabh. I'll talk about the gas fees. In case of Polygon, the gas fees is slightly cheaper, hence I went in with this. So this is with a wallet where I've added in locally. Now, given that we have another transaction, let us do another transaction. Now I'm doing it from pradeep.eth. And if you remember, pradeep.eth was my MetaMask wallet that I'd connected, right? And I don't have any local keys or anything like that. It's out there. Now here, let me go into Polygon, and let us see, I do have some Matic here, right? This is on my MetaMask wallet, right? And I'm taking one Matic, and this time I'm going to send it to Manish. Saurabh, don't worry, your chance comes next. In the next transaction, I'll show it that it comes to you, right? So what we are doing here, we are sending money from my MetaMask wallet, one Matic from Polygon to Manish Dureja on Matic on Polygon. So we'll say review. Right. So Saurabh, you'll see the gas fee here. You'll see this entry called as total fees, and it shows $0.0017. So that is a gas fee that it comes. So that shows up in this particular screen. So as we can all imagine, no blockchain transaction is completely free unless somebody else pays for it, right? And in this case, we are paying.
Yes, USDC also we had gas fees, right?
Yes, exactly. Any transaction you do, there is a gas fee involved, and it shows up.
So it's just that it is Polygon, so it's very minimal. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So now I will go swipe to initiate. Okay. So what is happening here? It says switch network on MetaMask to Polygon. Why is it saying so? Because if you remember, when we connected MetaMask on Ethereum mainnet, and unfortunately for us, MetaMask works with only one RPC at a time, and hence a MetaMask limitation. Whereas in the previous transaction, you saw Obvious works with all. Oh, fantastic, right? Obvious works with all RPCs together, so you don't have to worry about switching, changing, and all that, right? Anyway, let's do what it says. It says switch network. I'll click switch network. It is taking me to MetaMask, and it is saying, hey, do you want to switch from Ethereum to Polygon? I'll say yes, please, obviously. Okay, so the network has been switched. Now, if you can see, case you see, I am on the Polygon mainnet on MetaMask. So I come back here. Now the switch network has already happened. What is the next step? It says, please sign a transaction on MetaMask to proceed, right? Okay, I'll sign the transaction, and I don't have the keys with me to sign the transaction. So what does it mean? It means the keys are where? The keys are at MetaMask. So it takes me to MetaMask to say, hey, do you want to send one Matic? If yes, then please confirm it here. Should I confirm?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Obviously, I should confirm. I knew money should definitely save me.
Obviously.
Fantastic. Okay, now I said do that. And what did I do? I signed the transaction. Why did I sign transaction on MetaMask? Because it's a connected wallet. So imagine you connected a Ledger wallet or a Trezor wallet. You'll be taken to that wallet to do the signing because that's a wallet where the key is. So for people who want to try Obvious with a wallet with a high amount of capital, and you don't want to directly import the seed phrase out Obvious, you can simply connect the wallet here, and then the transaction will come up, right? So as you can see, what is happening? The transaction is complete. And how do I see the transaction detail? I just click on this link, and it gives me the Polygon scan link, right? I just copy that, and then I paste it on the chat, and you know that the transaction is success, and the money went from my wallet onto Manish's wallet, right? Obvious orchestrated the transaction, but the money actually went from my MetaMask wallet to there, right? So essentially what is happening here, you see the transaction going through process and all that kinds of stuff. I can of course go to my activity and see that it's a success, right? So now the next ENS that I got one is from saurabh.s.eth. Hey, by the way, people, if you don't have ENS, just drop in your address as is. I can send the thing to the address as well, so not to worry. Okay, so we did two types of transaction where we did a simple send from a local wallet and from a connected wallet. Now let us do some more fun stuff, right? So let us go into, okay. So let us say I want to send some USDT from here, all right? So I'll say 10 USDT, and yep. And let us say I want to send it as, let me say I want to receive it onto my MetaMask, but here I want to receive this as Matic. Well, let me do one simple thing. Hold on. Let us do another thing where I will just receive this as USDT to USDC, but I will receive this on Optimism itself. So what am I doing here? I am converting USDT to USDC. Essentially, I'm swapping. I'm essentially paying $10 and then I'm getting $9.999237 worth of USDC on Optimism, right? And here I'm going to add the address that Saurabh had shared with me.
What was the reason for switching from USDC to USDT?
No, I'm just showing that such a transaction is possible.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm just showcasing that, hey, you know what, I can send you some USDC. Basically, we are swapping from one token to another token, right? So I will say review. So what is happening? We are sending money from my obvious demo to wallet, which is USDT on Optimism, to Saurabh's wallet as USDC on Optimism network. Pranav, you seem to have a question. Please go ahead. I'll initiate the transaction in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. So dollar to dollar is very easy because it's pretty static, and obviously you got 9.93, 9.94 value out of it. But what about if I'm looking to send, say, USDT to Bitcoin or USDT to Matic or Ethereum? What's the price range and how much of a premium is there built in?
Lovely. Please download the app, check for yourself. But for now, since you asked me, I'll go ahead and do that as well. So let us say
right now the price on Ethereum is showing on my desk. One sec, let it pop up. 1365.
Okay, let us do one thing. Hold on. So let us see. I want to send this as you wanted as a Matic, right? So what are we trying to do? We are trying to send.
Matic. If you can do Ethereum, it'll be easy because I have Ethereum on my desk. Means my.
Oh, fine. Which one Ethereum? Ethereum on
Ethereum and Bitcoin. You can choose any of these.
Ethereum on Arbitrum, Ethereum on Optimism. Which Ethereum?
Ethereum is Ethereum, sir. That doesn't matter. You can be on anything.
Lovely.
Ethereum एक ही है world में.
नहीं सही है सर. आप तो ज्ञानी हो. You know the stuff, right? So all that I'm trying to say that where did you want your Ethereum? Do you want it on Arbitrum? Do you want it on Optimism? Or do you want it on the mainnet?
Mainnet.
ठीक है. Then we'll see. You see, this is a market, and market there are multiple people who are ready to provide various prices. You choose a price that you like. If you like any price that is shown here, you can go for it. If in case you can get better price somewhere else, I'll show you how to do that as well, and we can also do that as well. Does that answer your question, sir?
So this is a DEX basically on the back end that you're connecting to.
It connects to various DEXs, and then it comes with all the options to say, "Bhai, kitna hai? Kaun kitna de raha hai?" You can choose whatever option you like.
Does it tell me which DEX it is?
Yes, you can see it here, right? It is using 0x in this case. So when I select this, then I go ahead, it gives you the 0x as the DEX and the hop as the bridge, right? And naturally, what we are trying to do here is just trying to look at all the market players and then bring their stuff in here so that we get things going. Anyway, just to continue the demo, I don't want to leave Saurabh hanging. So I promised him $1. I'll just do that, right? So we will go into, hold on. I said I'll send it to Saurabh, saurabh.eth. So you saw that feature, right? So as soon as you search for any address, it automatically gets added to the address book. Now I'm going to send it as one USDC on Optimism, right? So let's say review. So Saurabh, what we are doing is we are sending one USDT on Optimism, and you will get 0.99 USDC on Optimism, right? So let us go swipe and initiate. So I'd say approve transaction. You see, did the Face ID stuff, right? And then it takes the transaction. It initiates the transaction. So what is happening here is it is taking the one USDT on Optimism, taking it to a DEX, which is 0x in this case, and 0x then does the swap, and then the transaction takes over, right? And naturally, as you can see, things don't happen immediately. Sometimes they do take time. So, but we have done our job. So what we can do is we can say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to minimize this, and the transaction will happen in the backend, and I can come visit it sometime later. So I'm just going to close this. Saurabh, don't worry, it'll come. It shows as pending, and it'll come up. Okay, I have to approve the transaction, right? And then naturally it'll come through, and you should be able to get that going. Let us do another transaction where we will move from, I think I got somebody else's address as well. What was that? RJ's address. Okay. Oh man, I can take only one more transaction. Ajay, you are the last. Okay, let us see what do I have. Okay, so here again, you can do something similar. Let me get you started on Phantom chain. Yep. So let us say I pick some 20 Phantom from here. Let me make it as 10. And here I'm going to put the address that RJ had shared. So RJ, your address starts with the 2E46 and ends with the 6BB33. I hope that's the one. All right. So I'm going to select that. And you know what? I'm going to send you Phantom on Phantom. Exactly, right? So we have Phantom on Phantom. Let's go through that. Phantom is another chain which is very fast as well as really, really cheap. So you see the gas fee here is 0.0001. Okay, I'll say swipe to initiate. And this
is automatically doing all the wrapping, basically.
Exactly.
Sorry, I missed the first half of the meet.
Oh, yeah. So essentially what happens is it uses a bunch of bridges and dexes in the background. And then depending on the source and the destination, it figures out the ideal optimal route, and then it does. And in case it's going to take time, it will say notify me once complete. Oh, it's already gone because it is done. So you'll be notified once it's complete. You don't have to be stuck on the screen. You can do other things that you want to do. Okay. So fantastic. Yeah. So this is how this thing is done. Now I have Ajay's address. I'm just going to copy that and do one last transaction. Let us say, where do you want to move money from? Let us say Gnosis. Let us take
my USDC is stuck, looks like.
Yep. I'll come to that. If not, I'll send you something else. Sometimes the demo gods are not happy. Okay. So this is Ajay's address. Ajay, your address starts with 9A5, ends with 877FC67C. F67C. Okay. So I'm just doing that. I'm sending to you on Gnosis and as XDAI. XDAI is the native token on Gnosis chain. And as you can see, Gnosis chain is also pretty cheap in terms of the gas fee. And then I will be able to say sign transaction. And then it got the Face ID. Now it initiates the transaction. Now I will say notify me once complete. And then it takes me to the transaction. It goes through that. And looks like this transaction didn't go through. Let me try approve again. Maybe sometimes some of these things do go bad. But that's a good thing, right? So you always know what the state things are in. Like I like to make a joke that in case of blockchain, there's no central authority to approve, disapprove. So either the wallet is in your wallet or the money is in somebody else's wallet. It can't be stuck anywhere in between, right? Anyway, so this is how this thing works, right? And of course, I can go look at transactions. You see all the transactions that we have done start showing up here, right? So yep, that's what you look at, all the transactions. And if in case I change the collection to default collection, where we have all kinds of wallets, you start seeing all the transactions start showing up. So Manish's transaction start showing up, Vitalik's transaction start showing up, and anybody else who's done transaction in the last few months and days and all of that stuff, that also start showing up here.
I have a question.
Okay, so you do. Yes, please.
The transaction which you did is not showing in my wallet. So can you first view and see whether you see, because I checked on my desktop and my mobile wallet, MetaMask is not showing up.
Let us do one thing. That's a good question. So I had shared the, okay, let us go into look at the transaction that was one Matic, right?
Yeah, one Matic. I think you
I think I had sent one USDC. This is the transaction that we had done. So let's go look at Polygon scan to make sure that this is the address. Okay, that is as 0x2D11. Is this the address?
0x. No.
No, hold on. So that is 0274174. This is the address, right?
That's right.
Yep. So which is what we had sent, which was this was the first transaction that we did. So it shows up here on the transactions, and it also shows up as this link. And let me just paste this link on the chat as well. I think I had done it. I've pasted this link on the chat. Do take a look at that. In the meantime, let me just go look at your wallet to make sure that you have one USDC on Polygon. How do we do that? I come to homepage, change the Pradeep collection to default collection. Then I go into Manish Tureja's wallet. Then I go into Polygon and I go into tokens. And Manish, you happen to have one USDC here in your wallet.
Okay, for some reason on my wallet and desktop it's not showing.
Do you have USDC added to MetaMask? Because it doesn't show it by default. You'll have to add it.
I have it, but it's on Ethereum mainnet. I have a USDC.
Yeah, you'll have to add it on Polygon chain.
Yeah, that's the reason. Okay, got it.
Which is,
I got worried for a minute.
Exactly the problem they are solving, right? That is exactly the problem that
I think that's
something
the
like
point which I was trying to.
because it allows you to.
Yep, exactly. Right. So now, if in case you see, you have USDC coin on both chains. You have it on the mainnet. You have it also on Polygon.
MetaMask is like using Windows with that MS-DOS prompt, and using a laptop, I mean, with MS-DOS prompt, and now something like obvious is like building the Windows on top of that laptop, for you.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
Sir, a correction. Building Windows, nahi sir. Building Mac OS, बोलो please.
On FreeBSD, we want to get there, but अभी तो Windows दिख रहा है. As money.
Sir, आपको billion users चाहिए कि 5 billion users चाहिए? वो आप पहले decide करें. Then you can be Mac or Windows. I am a 5 billion guy, so I always say Windows. But if you are happy with a billion, then all the best on Mac also.
Thank you for thinking so highly of us. But anyway.
So sorry, Pradeep, one question. You said the USDC is both on Ethereum mainnet as well as Polygon.
Yes, let me show Manish's account so you'll get an idea. So when I go to Manish's account, so when I say tokens, it shows USDC coin has two variants. यहाँ पे क्योंकि उनके पास they have USDC on the mainnet as well as USDC on Polygon as well.
So it's not two USDC, right? It's just a copy of the same transaction.
Oh, no. It's a different USDC, right? So there is a 128, there is 120.94 on USDC on the Ethereum mainnet. There is one USDC on the Polygon mainnet.
Okay, got it now. Yeah.
It's basically Saurabh, he has them in two different pockets. He has the same currency, but in two different pockets. One is on Polygon and one is on mainnet.
Yeah. For a moment, I thought it's the same USDC is having at both places.
Exactly.
But I'm clear now.
Okay. Right. So I think all of those transactions did go through. Let us see if in case something has not gone through, then probably we can go ahead and make that thing happen again. Right. I think this is still pending. Yep. Let me check on this.
Yeah,
maybe
yes,
seems to be some issue on Optimism side. But since you said, hey, you know what? Let me send you something from the Matic side itself so that it's much easier. By the way, the other demo that I definitely wanted to show was taking money from FTX, right? So let us say I can move money from my FTX exchange account into my address here, right? I can say, hey, I want it as Matic, but I'm not going to press this button because there's a bug because of which is not working in this build. But I think it will be fixed in the upcoming build next Tuesday. Then I'll be able to show that. But the idea here is you can use any of these as a liquidity sources, right? Any of my accounts as a liquidity source. So these are all my liquidity sources. My FTX exchange, my demo wallet, and my main wallet as well, right? So unfortunately, in this build, it has a bug, but nevertheless, once you get the app, you'll be able to do a withdrawal from FTX as well. Right now, it's able to read the balance, but we're trying to say, by let's say 25%, right? You see the balance shown above the keyboard, and then I can withdraw money from FTX, withdraw money from Binance, all of these things as well. Yep, Pranav.
Purely playing devil's advocate, don't mind this. Suppose I have an exchange account with Binance or FTX, and what's the kind of means? Where do you authorize it? Right? Means I know you're saying there's a bug, but if you can just walk us through it, because the idea is if FTX or do you have like a backend integration, in which case it allows you to, because I don't have a wallet in case of my exchange, right? In
Yeah.
MetaMask or Ledger, it's very easy because I have access to my wallet and I'm authorizing signing the transaction there.
Yeah.
But on the exchange, what am I signing and where am I signing, sort of?
Yeah. So on exchange, there are two kinds of exchanges which are available. Like if you look at FTX allows for direct read. I'm able to read my balance. You see this, it shows me this 90.17 kind of stuff. FTX also allows me to look at my holdings on various chains, right? So this is what FTX's view of my holdings on FTX is. All right, so let me just show my FTX so that you'll get a good idea, and then I'll come answer your question. So these are all my FTX holdings. These are the tokens that I bought and held on FTX. Like if you see, I have Bitcoin, I have Solana on my FTX account, right? So this is all what it says. Now, when I want to do transfer from FTX, I am able to use the FTX APIs to read my balances, and it shows me this balance. Like for example, in this case, it says that I have 90 Matic. Now, when I want to withdraw, FTX allows for direct withdrawal to whitelisted IPs. If in case I've provided a withdraw option when I created my API, in my case I've done that, so it allows a direct transfer. Whereas in case of a Binance essentially makes sure that it asks for the two-factor authentication. So what we will do is, in case of Binance, we'll surface the two-factor authentication. There we need to put in the email password, the mobile OTP password, and your Google Authenticator password or the authenticator number. And once you put all three, then the transaction will go through.
So that pop-up, perfect. So that
Yes.
pop-up from Binance will happen on obvious,
yes.
or will it take me to,
It'll
or
show
do I
on
need to separately open a window or do something?
We are hoping that it will open up on obvious. For FTX, it directly works through. Binance, we're still working through that, but the idea is we plan to bring that pop-up here itself.
Yeah, because the American exchanges are not so big on two-factor yet, except for
Yes.
Coinbase. But
Yeah.
I'm sure Binance is super touchy on that issue.
Exactly. Binance definitely Binance creates a security theater. They want you to add all three: email, OTP,
Because उनको
mobile
खुद को ही
OTP.
चोरी करना है ना, वो किसी और को चोरी नहीं करने देते.
Probably. Yeah. So that's how the exchange thing will work. Right. Yep. Okay. This is a minefield. I never should open NFT of Vitalik because it just goes and eats my memory. Right. Yeah, but if in case
because people send him free ones.
People send him all kinds of free ones. Yes, that's true. That's true. Right. Yep. These are like some of the stuff. In case of NFT, we have been able to do some very high-level integration where we're able to bring the floor price and the purchase price. One of the rare NFTs where I'm in the green. In most other places, I'm in the red. Right. So anyway, that is how it is.
So in a Web2 parlance, Pradeep, this is like a beam of UPI.
Yes, sir. I think you probably joined a bit late, but exactly, I think you held it lovely, where I explained to the team saying that, hey, what are we building? And then I used some technical stuff and all that, and people said, hi, this is very confusing. This is what we're trying to do, right? Connecting the exchanges, bridges, wallet, dApps, and tokens together. And people said, bhai, kya kehna cha rahe ho? We said, bhai, we are just building PhonePe that allows you to connect to all of your bank accounts and send money to any other person, any other merchant, or any other service. And I gave the example of people sending money from, in my case, I use my HDFC Bank or SBI, and then I pay to Swiggy via PhonePe, and I get what I want.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes, sir. So that was the demo, folks. So this app is ready. We have it both on Android and iOS. So kindly, please go scan this QR code, right? And then you will go to obvious.technology, the website, put in your email, and you will get the link to try the app. And please try the app, play with it, give us your feedback. We are a very, very small team, but the more the feedback we get on the issues, we will be able to solve for it. Manish, point totally taken. The UX is still not great. We still polish it in the days to come. So please do look forward to using the app. Probably early November, there's a new redesign coming, which probably simplifies some of these things. And yeah, there's a long journey ahead. We are getting started. We need all of your blessings and good wishes. So kindly.
What's the revenue model plan, Pradeep?
Or revenue model is basically, that's a good question. So whenever you do any transaction across bridges or chains, there is a small convenience fee that gets added. Right? If in case you see this, right, so there is a small fee that gets added. If you see on the left side, I'm sending 500 graph tokens to the other side, right? So in that case, there is this $1.23 as the fee. That fee is split between obvious 1 inch and Connext.
So the revenue,
Okay.
so the fees is added by you or by the exchange?
So there are two parties here. There is a DEX, which is a decentralized exchange 1 inch. And then there is a Connext, which is a bridge that does the transfer. And then obvious that allows the transaction to be done in 1 click. So we split the money between all the participants in the transaction.
So it's sort of a referral income for you. Because everybody will be having a different incentive structure for you.
I prefer not to see it that way. But then again, I think probably this is slightly deeper business question that I do not have an answer. I'm a product guy. But all that I can say is there are multiple parties who make this transaction happen. One of them is obvious. They get a small slice of the pie whenever you pay the fees.
Got it. So, I mean, tomorrow, if you want to increase your revenue by charging more,
It's possible.
will have, is it possible?
Yes, we just a dial we need to turn on our side and it can happen. Yeah.
So it's decided by you, not by your agreements with the exchanges or anything like that.
Yeah, because they essentially charge a market fee, and that market fee is what they get from the market, right? And that's how things go ahead. Just I think there's one small thing that I want to just showcase, and then I think we should be done. I didn't talk about, we talked about how to move money, deploy money and all of that stuff. We didn't talk about how do we deploy money. So let me just go in here and pull that up. So, right. So let me just go into this screen, and here we talked about only the transfer to send, receive and all that. Now I'm going to go to the receive element. In receive element, of course, there's a QR code. Of course, I don't want to show my balance. I click on the eye icon and show the QR code to say, hey, look at this QR code, then send money in there, kind of stuff. So that could be one thing that people can do. Of course, you can copy the QR code, you can share the QR code, or share the address with people and stuff like that, right? So this is the receive element. The next one is the wallet connect element, where you can deploy the money that you have into a particular protocol. For example, here I have Aave open. Aave is a decentralized finance protocol that allows you to do lending and borrowing. You can lend the money that you have. So you see I connected to Aave. The signing sheet opens up. It says, do you want to connect obvious.demo.eth, which is my wallet, onto Aave, right? Of course, I can also change the wallet. In this case, I'll go with obvious. I can also change the network through which I'm connecting, right? So let us say I connect with Polygon and I say connect, right? And how do I show that? Okay, let me open my camera and then show that. So you see here, we entered the Polygon market on Aave and it shows all my balances, right? So now let us say I've already supplied some Matic and I'm earning some APY. You see 2.15 APY is what I'm earning on the 10 Matic that I've supplied. Let us say I want to withdraw some of that. And let us say, hey man, give me some 5 Matic. Right, you saw that. So I'm doing, I had already supplied about 10 Matic. Right now I'm saying, hey, I want to withdraw some 10 Matic. It is saying approve to continue. So I'll come to the app, and now what I will do is on the dApp, I pressed approve to continue, and the approval request comes to me here on my app from Aave. Right, so just to confirm that, I'll show you what is happening. So here I requested for approval, and the approval request came to me here, right? And I can say confirm here, right? And the transaction then takes over. It is asking for my Face ID. It does the signing, and then the sheet gets dismissed. And as you can see here, it is saying approving, and then the transaction will go through on Aave. So the idea here is similarly, I can go connect to any other dApp as well. For example, let me go into this. I'll bring up OpenSea. This is one of the most famous dApps. I'll go Wallet Connect. Okay. Let me say Wallet Connect, and you saw this thing came up. Again, I can connect to anything. I'll say connect. right? And once I connect here, it essentially pulls up my funds. You saw it shows up my funds. You saw obvious demo.eth, it shows obvious demo on the top, right? So similarly, what I can also do is I can connect to more and more dApps. For example, right now I'm saying, hey, you know what, I want to connect to. You see, I've already connected to Aave and OpenSea, that shows up here. Now I'm connecting to Uniswap. So I'll go to Uniswap, say connect wallet, and then bring a wallet connect. Okay, so, okay, Uniswap. Okay, the QR code comes up, I scan, and on Uniswap, let us say I want to connect on Arbitrum 1. I choose Arbitrum 1, and then I say connect. Then I got connected. You see on Uniswap, I am on Arbitrum 1 chain. You saw that? That is the Arbitrum 1 chain. Then I am on Uniswap. And then when I want to look at any of my balances, it essentially shows things and it brings up my balances on Arbitrum 1. It'll take some time, it'll read, but the idea is essentially you get the idea, right? So I'm able to take any of my holdings from any of these chains and then deploy them into buying an NFT, into DeFi, into GameFi, into Metaverse using the very simple wallet connect kind of thing. As you can see, it's already connected. It shows all the connections that I have, and then you can do that. One last thing is, of course, there is also an address book. You can add addresses. We've implemented a ENS search, right? So let us say I want to search for SANTOSH. Let us see how many Santoshas have ENS, right? All of them will start showing up here. You see, there is Santoshi, Santosha, Santosh India.it. Santosh, is this yours? The one with India flag?
No. Mine is Santosh Panda.
Oh, okay. Right. So essentially it comes in. So if in case I say Panda, right, it essentially brings that up as well. And then we can work with that. Right. So this is another thing that we implemented in the address book. Yep. And then of course the usual stuff which we all are used to do show up on the app. So thank you folks for everyone for giving us your evening and then looking through the demo and staying back for late and giving us encouraging words. I'm sorry, sir, I didn't get the USDC going to you. Probably I'll send it separately later.
Yeah, later if you can share your roadmap and what's your funding and fundraising plans, that would be good.
Oh, sure. Let me do one thing. I'll just put my WhatsApp number here, 91944982372. And this is my Telegram as well. So
we should join the Get Funded VC, for all such awesome guys.
Yeah.
Just one question, Pradeep. Have you sort of mapped Obvious with OKX wallet or app, whatever you want to call it?
Oh, no. OKX just happened to be one of the ones. It works with SushiSwap, SudoSwap, Paraswap, QuickSwap, HoneySwap. There are totally 36 different backends to which it talks, and whatever gives the best price at this time, it brings it up.
No. What I meant to say was OKX is doing the exact same product, right?
Yes,
Not
yes.
exchange. The
Oh, I was
OKX,
thinking 0x. Sorry.
जो OKX है America वाला, they are doing the same thing for that Obvious is doing basically. So if you've not, then please do map it against that.
Oh, sure. Pranav, you went on mute.
Sorry. See if it because I feel the only one reason is that it's a super big company, right? So therefore you want to be first, and their disadvantage is they're actually American, and America doesn't allow this product. You can't use this product in the US.
Interesting.
So like I'm sure you also don't have App Store approval for US. Do you have it?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, because US doesn't allow this product. So you'll be outside the US, and that's where they have a disadvantage and you have an advantage.
Got it. I think we'll have to check on that because we are right now only on the test flight. I think once we go live, probably we'll need to do that. And Romil, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have the approval for US also, right?
Yes, Pradeep. The test flight approval is for all the countries.
Got it. Okay, so Pranav, we have test flight approval for all countries. The assumption is after testing, probably we'll get graduated into the main app store as well, but something to check for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Pradeep. Really appreciate the extensive demo and your patience to address all the questions. We'll be in touch. Thanks.
Please, thank you
Great,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks, everybody,
Thanks,
for
Pradeep.
being around. We do this live show, Web3 Tools, every Thursday at 6 p.m. IST. The next one is going to be a fantastic tool equally. But Pradeep and team has been doing amazing UX work. I've been seeing from the day one, and so passionately, deeply into it. So please, most of you, all of you, just download and start playing with it and let your friends and connections know about it. Right. Thanks once again for sharing time and being around with all your questions and insights.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We need your blessings and well wishes. Kindly do help us out.
All the best.
Best wishes.
All the best. All the
Yes.
best. Bye.
All the best.